What's up, Internet? Jeff and Mario here. Well, it's finally arrived. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 1, titled New World Order. First thing, right out of the gate, why didn't they just call it the Sam and Bucky show? Sam and Bucky.
It doesn't sound as important.
Yeah,
Sam and Bucky sounds like a comedy sidekick show.
Yeah, maybe that's why, because it's just like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It takes a long time to get out.
Yeah,
and then I tend to refer to Captain America Part 2 as the Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. So sometimes there's a little bit of confusion in my own brain.
Yeah.
But maybe not in anyone else's fine. But I digress. Episode 1 is here, New World Order. First reaction, what'd you think? I enjoyed it, right? Almost a full one. Well, 48-minute runtime, 12-minute credits.
That's pretty good.
It was 12 minutes.
Was it 12 minutes of credits?
It was 12 minutes of credits.
Wow.
Yeah. And the great job.
Shout out to the cast and crew, though.
Yeah. I mean, great graphics for the first section of there where, you know, when they're going to break up, if they're going to do a mid-credit stinger versus an end credit. And great job. The bar is a little high, wouldn't you say? Like, Wanda really raised the bar.
Yeah, I think... I mean, this one comes out hard, too, with an action scene.
Oh, yeah.
A
super action sequence.
Previously, we had 3 full episodes that were just sitcoms with little or no, plot reveal. And this one jumps right into a Falcon action scene.
Yeah, it's just like... Right, it was Top Gun.
We're gonna get so banned off YouTube, you know that, right? The algorithm finds those things.
Just like, oh man, thank God, my karaoke voice is not going to carry over. Algorithm's like, nothing to see here. There's nothing that resembles singing that is happening right now. So, but yeah, it started off strong, like right out of the gate. Now this takes place weeks after the blip, correct? It's about weeks after the blip.
I think so.
I don't know how many weeks, but. We find out they start off with Falcon, right? Comes first in the title, comes first in the show. You find out that he has joined the Air Force. Is he as a licensed pilot or a licensed plane?
Wait, before that, we get a little pre-credit thing there. Falcon putting the shield back in the back.
Oh, yes.
We got Sam, and he's ironing his suit in his apartment. We see him getting dressed up real nice, and he puts Cap's shield back in the leather pouch.
He did, yeah.
And then you hear
old man
voiceover.
Cap. Yeah, the voice of old man.
And he says,
it feels like someone else's.
You're right.
It's not, but it's not, and he put it away. Mm-hmm. It gets into a bing, bang, boom action scene. Explosions, flying planes, helicopters, guns. They get, it's all in. It's just like, look, we know we gave you a lot of sitcom funniness. Now, what's interesting is this was filmed before Wanda, correct?
It was.
So
it was supposed to come out before. I think this would
have been the first show.
Was supposed to come right after Black Widow or lead into Black Widow.
It was going to lead into Black Widow,
yeah,
right? So that threw that off. So I don't know if that was a conscious decision to all of a sudden basically give you that Pulp Fiction adrenaline to the heart, but that's basically what they did.
Well, I mean, it's basically a promo for Falcon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
And he did his stuff, right? He got his little X-Wing that's on behind him, the little, what's that sticky widget called?
Oh, what's the drone's name?
Yeah,
no, I forgot.
He has a name. But yeah, he's basically Disney marketing swag, because now people are going to want basically that for Christmas. I'm going to want the Falcon drone.
Yeah.
But that was good. But you caught up with him, and then we jump into, after that, Did they go from the nightmare to right into the therapist's office?
I don't remember, but they were definitely close.
Yeah.
It was sort of, they gave you Sam's backstory or what he's up to now, and then they cut to Winter Soldier, what he's doing now.
Yeah. So
Bucky, I feel like I don't know him well enough to call him Bucky.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we want to call him Captain Barnes. I don't know what.
That's probably the problem.
I like to think if we knew each other, we'd call him Bucky, or just like. We wanted to call him Luke Skywalker, didn't we? we kind of wanted to call him Luke.
You keep thinking it, right?
Yeah,
he looks more and more like him.
Yeah, Buck Skywalker, right? It's just like that's what we call him. Anyway, like you said, definitely PTSD. He's not being completely honest with this very aggressive therapist that she was very frustrated with him, right? Oh, that's right. They talked about that. This was a deal that he's been pardoned.
Right. This was part of his pardon.
Yeah, this was part of his pardon that he had to do it, and she was getting pissed off that he was like, no, I'm not having any nightmares. So he's definitely not handling things well. I think he's I don't know if everything Shuri did in Wakanda it did the trick. He's still having some issues.
Right.
He did. He even brought that up. He's like, I was chilling in Wakanda, and then that's all. That was the only break I had, and then basically it was time for a fight again.
Yeah.
So, but what I really enjoyed about this is just like, look, this had a lot of action, but this was a lot of setup, and they really started digging deep into the backstory of like where these characters are, and that's what's great. I mean, that's what makes any character that you can relate to is you want to hear where they came from, right? What their backstory is. So, because then we jump into, we end up in Louisiana with Sam, right?
Right.
And basically he goes home to his family, and then you find out that his family had actually was a shrimpers, right? They shrimp boat. Right, it's just like I thought of Forrest Gump, right? Bubba Gump, I automatically thought of that. But his sister was there, and I don't know. She alluded to like I've been basically since you've been blipped, I've been having to take this, and then you find out that it's just like she wants to sell. They're having some problems with the family, right?
Right. That's one thing about this episode. It really digs in. We were talking about how Marvel was sort of creating this ground level hero faction.
Yep.
And that's kind of where we are. We've gone from Wanda and Vision, who are like godlike powers, to Bucky and Sam, who one has a jetpack and one has a metal arm.
Right. Yeah. So they're definitely that street level, more relatable. They don't have the mystical powers.
And after saving the world, they've saved the universe. Did they save the universe?
They saved the universe.
Okay, so they saved the universe, and now it's like they've got to go back and pay the bills.
Yeah. He's not using his notoriety to pay the bills, which maybe he should, right? Falcon, shrimp, I don't know, but they show him. He's like, look, I'm here to save the family business, and they say I got this side hustle for you. I'm gonna go, get you on this bank loan. We're gonna just go get a loan.
Falcon can't get a bank loan.
Falcon can't get a bank loan, and we were laughing about this earlier, right? Because it's just like you're an Avenger, you're a superhero, and just like you can't get a bank loan. That's very pro wrestling, right? It's just like waiting in the locker room, just, people are hanging out. It's like, I want to see, you're a star. And it's just like, I'm going to follow you home. It's like, you can't follow me home because I live in my car.
I am home.
I am home. Now get out of my house.
The loan officer is like, well, you have no income for the last 5 years. Well, I was blipped.
Yeah, I didn't exist.
I was blipped out of existence, bro.
Yeah, and he's like, that doesn't really matter because the rules have changed since you've been.
Do you think a lot of folks have that on their resume now, where it's like the gap in employment? It's like blip.
So like, why is there a 5-year gap? No, like before you had a bullshit, you just like a BS. Someone just like, oh no, I don't know, I had this job, but no, it's just blip.
Yeah.
You can just put a little blip there. They show these characters kind of going through this very epic event that is just like, we just fought, one of the strongest forces in the universe and
saved the universe
with witches and warlocks and superheroes. And it's just like, and now
now Falcon is selling barbecue plates out of the back of a pickup.
Out of the back of a pickup. Exactly. He was in the back of the pickup, like selling these plates that they were just making, like he needed a side hustle. It's just like, I guess. And they even brought it up. It's just like Avengers don't have any kind of pay. And he's just like, well, it's more of a goodwill volunteer thing, right?
Yeah. They're not billionaires.
Yeah.
They don't have, Doctor Strange is a wizard. Wanda is a witch. Like they have unlimited powers. These guys have jetpacks, metal arms, and they do contract work
and problems.
Yeah, they have problems,
and they got problems. I mean,
financial problems,
and it's just like
Doctor Strange can just will money into existence.
Yeah, and then he wouldn't even let Wong lend Wong money. Like he didn't give any Wong for that tuna melt.
Right.
He's just like, oh, I don't know about that. He's like, come on, can't they just kind of whip up?
But seriously, something up? Doctor Strange could just be like, tuna melt.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. I feel like he would.
Yeah.
It's just like, and with any toppings that he wanted.
The one thing about this show that I'm getting a really political vibe from this one. I guess the original, Captain America: The Winter Soldier was the most political.
It was
of the three.
But
I get that feeling on this one too.
I think you're right, because here's the thing: is just like the world that we live in now, as of like this past election season, right? When you just basically had, this fringe group storm the Capitol, and I just like, this was filmed before all of that. But the Flag Smashers basically are a group that thought the world was better the way Thanos did it, right? And we know that exists in our reality, right? The Reddit, Thanos was right. But in this group, they just think that the world was better with what Thanos did, and now that it's not there, it seems like they're trying to run with it. Like, I don't know if they're going to try to do a re-snap, but they're not happy that all these people blip back into existence, or they're not happy as of the result of them blipping back, like what the world's turned into. But they're very disenfranchised, and they just kind of did a scene of like, we don't know what they were stealing, but they threw out a bunch of lucha masks. They basically threw out, and it looks like they were trying to do some kind of heist or something and cause some confusion that everybody's kind of like, that Q vibe of just like, we're everybody everywhere, but we're nowhere. Very Negan, right? It's just like, we're all Negan. So they all had the same mask to try to cause some. Did you pick up on that too?
It just reminded me, it was some sort of like online app to organize mobs,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cause it was an app, right?
Right.
They showed it earlier, right? He had an app and he was looking, and they like, you had to use the app to show not a barcode, but basically
it was like the augmented reality through the app. You could see the mark of
the symbol, which I thought was interesting. But that's what they alluded to, that they were in, but they didn't show any like who's running it yet, right? We don't know who's running it.
And we know the main the head of it has powers.
Oh yes, because he did get in a fight, and he basically gave the chest punch to Sam's military contact, who we saw earlier, that sent him flying into. So it looks like he was covertly trying to embed himself, and basically when he got punched in the chest, he went flying.
Yeah.
So he definitely has some powers, but it's just like, but we don't know who yet, right? Because it's just like, we know by seeing some early previews that Zemo is somehow affiliated with this group, but we don't know how yet.
We never get Sam and Bucky in the same scene in this one.
Not the entire episode. And
this is all set up.
No, and we got no, not Peggy Carter. Is she Peggy? Which one is the...
No, Peggy is the original.
That's the original agent. Sharon Carter. Yeah, we didn't get any Sharon Carter at all, which I thought was strange because they show her face in the credits, but they never showed her name. So it's just like a placeholder. Like, yeah, she's coming. She's just not there yet. Coming. Yeah. So I don't know.
So what did you think overall?
I enjoyed it. I did. But I definitely got the feel of just like, here's some Marvel action, but we're going to give you some backstory to set it up. And look, these are 6 hour, quote unquote, hour-long episodes. So now they got 5 more left. So they needed to basically establish the world we're in before we start getting to where we need to get to. Because not that it ended on a cliffhanger, but it definitely ended with Sam being a little bit confused on what was going on.
Oof, that was harsh. So that was the new Captain America.
Right.
So after he gave up the shield willingly,
yes,
they just fork it over to a new Captain America.
To somebody else who just like, yeah, he's definitely...
It was like, remember when Scott Hall left WWE and they had the fake Razor Ramon?
Oh, yeah, and fake Diesel, which was, Kane was fake Diesel, right? And it's just like, we own this character. And that's exactly what they did, right?
Yeah.
He came out and he had the stature and he had the shield. They gave him the shield, but it clearly was not, especially when you saw his face, right? You look just like, oh, look, there's Fruit Loops. And like, no, that's Kroger's Fruity Holes. Like, very similar, but not that. That was definitely store brand Captain America.
I get now why they have been hiding his face this whole time. They haven't been showing much of the new Captain America. No. You get one shot of him from behind.
Yeah.
But when you see that face, the last shot, that mug is just... something about it. It's so smug and just...
It's just like, how can it be so smug and look like that? And you're wearing a mask and people are it's just like, your face was very off-putting, but I was wearing a mask. I was like, exactly.
It's off-put. Yeah, it's off-putting.
I said it. I know, my lip stuck. Off-putting.
That's Kurt Russell's son.
What?
That's Wyatt Russell. That's Kurt Russell's son. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He's been in several things. This is his first superhero joint, but yeah, that's Wyatt Russell, Kurt Russell's son.
That's great. I had no idea. It's just like, so Kate Hudson is not the only one in that family. That's the next generation bringing in the cash, right? I know.
Family business.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. I did not know that. So it's just like, yeah, but it was still very...
But his face you immediately see it and you hate it. And
I think they say that's you have a very punchable face.
Yeah, no slight to him. He's probably that's probably technique.
Oh, yeah.
You have to learn that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like to make yourself have like if you're not born with a punchable face. You have to actually perform to make your face feel punchable.
That's a class.
Yeah, with a hood on.
Right.
Right? It's just like you're just like
in the Captain America uniform.
Yeah. So I thought that, but that was definitely, you can tell that Sam was not happy about that.
Nope.
And so but overall, again, I enjoyed it. You enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
I would say nothing outstanding. Well, other than the opening action scene, I thought was great.
Yeah.
But I'm anxious to see more. But I get that feeling like you said, we're only getting 6 episodes here, and now there's one in the can.
Yeah.
So need to bring it.
They're gonna have to bring it fast.
Get to it. Don't be like WandaVision and wait 4 or 5 episodes before stuff gets going.
Yeah, they kind of do. But here's the thing: I still feel like, we talked about it with Wanda. We're back on a different roller coaster, and we're at the stage. So we got 5 before we get to that top of the hill, and we start. And we know they're going to. And I think we all have that Wanda, the adrenaline. There was so much adrenaline built up, like that. Marvel and brought to the, they brought everybody's adrenaline up to a certain level. And then, obviously, like when you walk out of the movie theater, you're a little psyched, but then after a week it starts. So it's probably better that they're going to start to build it back up again, right? To start it off slow before they get in there. And I'm all for some character development to actually make me care about the characters. And we know their casting is great. So, I mean, I'm not worried. We were already invested with these characters. But it was just like, this is where they are now, right? We already knew the backstory of, Bucky and Sam and how they met. So
I really enjoy the aspect, like I said, of what you do when you're not a superhero.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just like,
you're not getting endorsement deals. You're not getting
no, this is not The Boys, right? That you don't have Vought Industries. Stark Industries is not like Vought Industries. They're not branding you. They're not putting you out there. And that's what always made Marvel different than DC, right? It was just like, not that DC, they did that in the DC universe anyway, but now they become even more relatable because they can't pay the bills sometimes, and they have to go to therapy sometimes, which we're all familiar with in the past couple of years. They're like, things are tough all over. So I don't know. I'm excited to see more. So what do you guys think? You're excited to see more? So what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments, and let's get a little clicky going on. Click that like, click that subscribe, click that share. We need that holy trinity of YouTube so we can keep making content to you, because we enjoy it. So hopefully you enjoyed it. So until then, we'll see you down the road.